In England, dealing with the most urgent incidents was 9 minutes and 35 seconds, according to NHS England figures. That's up from 8 minutes and 51 seconds in February. That is, in fact, the longest average since current records began in August 2017. Sky's Becky Cottrell has more.
I do love her. She's one of my special patients.
Pat Croke has endured her long wait for an operation with unbelievable stoicism, despite being in agony.
How long have you been waiting for your knee replacement?
I'd say about 3 years, but then, the COVID but it's sort of, you have to wait, don't you? Everybody's waiting.
And what was it like? What was the pain like for the 3 years you were waiting?
Oh, absolutely atrocious.
2 weeks ago, she finally had her surgery. It's a massive relief. All this time, she's barely left her home, practically unable to walk.
I had so many falls. All around this side here, there was no skin at all. I'd scraped it all off.
Pat is recovering at Halton Hospital in Cheshire. They are COVID-free, thanks to testing. Some hospitals have stopped screening if you don't have symptoms. Across the NHS, they're having to make difficult choices between protecting the vulnerable and providing desperately needed care.
There's a patient that I've spoken to recently her operation was cancelled 5 times and 3 times of that were because of COVID. You have to think about how that limits people's lives. You could be waiting years for operations. It's increased pain, their quality of life, just deteriorates.
The government and NHS England want no one to be waiting more than 2 years for treatment by July. Look at today's figures, and that seems like an ambitious target. One of the biggest challenges facing this trust, like many others, is coming from A&E. People who put off seeing a doctor during the pandemic, now really sick. People who can't get a GP appointment. They're all showing up at the emergency department, and they need specialists delaying care for other patients. And to make things worse,
figures of staff sickness have probably over doubled in the last few weeks and months, probably as high as they've been throughout the pandemic other than wave 1. And we're doing that at the same time as opening up more and more escalation beds to cope with the demand. So that is a really difficult, real challenge for us.
Chronic pain and the pandemic isolated Pat from her great-grandchildren.
It'll be lovely to see them all again. Not all at the same time.
She's happy to wait just a little longer to get her strength back. Becky Cottrell, Sky News, Cheshire.
Now, if you'd like to find out more about how your local trust is